Hello, everyone. Let's put eyes on Werewolf the Apocalypse, Earthblood. I played Werewolf, the pen and paper RPG, very little. I wanted to play it more because I really like the concept of werewolves in the White Wolf universe. But alas, I never really had the chance to play a full campaign, and I really wanted to. So this is the next best thing.
The wild, the weaver, and the worm. Three primal forces from which the world Gaia springs. The wild is creation, formless and abundant. The weaver shapes, making order out of chaos. The worm, whose purpose was to destroy the old, to make room for the new, went mad. Now, a force of corruption, feeding on greed, malice, and hate. It ravages Gaia. Through its unwitting accomplices, mankind. The balance between those three forces is long gone now. Insidiously, the worm gains more and more ground every day, vitalized by the damage humans have brought to the Earth. We, the werewolves, remain, born of man, beast, and spirit. We are the vindication of Gaia and the wild.
All right. They should be ready now.
The best way to get Indran out of the region is to attack their bottom line. We have a plan to convince them there's no profit to be had here. Ludmilla, if you please.
I've recently gained access to the system that controls all the on-site oil pumps. That's our target. We tamper with the pumps and send dummy data to the system to make them think their oil field has run dry.
Will that really be enough?
According to the internal files I got my hands on, they treat unprofitable sites like gangrenous limbs. They'll give this one the chop right away.
I don't know. Even if we do manage to push them out, they'll only set up somewhere else. We need to hurt them, bring them down, not chase them away.
We've already talked about this, Kahal. They're too close to the cairn. If we stage an attack, they'll look for the ones who did it. I don't want Indran's eyes on our home. Our best option is to work in the shadows.
But if something goes wrong, my wife ends up on her own in enemy territory. I don't like it.
I'm going to be fine, Call. We've been preparing this for weeks. We've calculated the risks.
And if there's any sign of trouble, you and I go in and retrieve her. But I'd rather we stay covert. Ludmilla will have the easiest time on her own.
I'm heading out. I want to be done before daybreak. Take care of Adana while I'm away. I think she's going a little crazy all cooped up in here.
Don't worry, I'll talk to her. You just focus on your mission.
Call. I've got this. I love you. See you soon.
The graphics don't look like anything exceptional, I would say, but it also gives me that vibe of an older type of game, like Hunter the Reckoning for the 360. No, the original Xbox.
Endrin. One of the most destructive companies North America has to offer. Known for their violence and endless greed. If we left them to their own devices, they'd ravage this place till there was nothing left but dust. Ava did an impressive job installing all this. I'll have to thank her for this later.
All in all, it is pretty cool.
What do you think, old friend? Yeah, that makes two of us. I'm not too keen on this plan. Not looking forward to packing all this up tomorrow morning.
Ish, packing.
I don't like thinking that Ludmilla's on her own, Rodko.
I understand. She's my sister, remember?
And she's Adana's mother. I should be out there with her.
I gave it a lot of thought. Her chances of success are better if she's alone. It's as simple as that. If things don't go as planned, you can tear through as much Endrin scum as you like to get her out. But for now, we stay put. Go. Rest while we wait.
The game does have some dialogue and some choices, as you've seen. I'd say this keeps well with its role-playing game origins or roots, though it is pretty simplified. Not bad, just simplified.
Got everything squared away?
Not a lot to square away. All I'm doing is pressing a button once Ludmilla gets me hooked up. Still got a ways to go before I can do much more than that. If I tried to breach their network, they'd be on us in a second.
Says the woman who got her hands on their files. We'd never have been able to take the fight to Endrin like this without you. Besides, you installed all of this on your own. Have faith in your abilities.
That's sweet, Cahal, but I just wish I could do more. But how are you doing? Talk to your daughter yet?
No, not yet. I'm just heading her way. Hey, how you doing?
I'm bored out of my mind. There's nothing to do here, and it's wet and miserable.
We're not on vacation, Adi. We're here for Gaia, for the cairn, and you're here to learn how we do things.
I know, but couldn't I have learned how we do things back at Tarker's Mill? It's not like you've got me helping out with the mission or anything.
Try connecting with the spirits.
Mhm.
Feel their presence around you. The pain Endrin's causing them. That connection makes you a Garou.
I'm trying. Believe me, but I just can't.
Don't worry. It's always harder before your first change. And if the change never comes, if you're human, like your mother, that's fine. She may not feel the spirits, but she's the finest infiltrator we have.
Why didn't you go with Mom anyway? She's all alone out there. If something happens to her...
I wish I could have. But Rodko wants us to keep a low profile. And there's no one better at that than your mom.
Rodko's a dumbass.
Hey, that's your uncle you're talking about. And the leader of our pack. You know it's his job to make those decisions. Everything will be all right, don't worry. Try to focus on the spirits. We'll be leaving this place soon.
It does take a bit to get to the point.
Cahal, wake up!
Again, RPG roots.
A helicopter just touched down on the site's landing pad. Apparently it's some Endrin exec. Their presence is shaking things up.
Tell me Ludmilla's okay.
She's okay. They've still got no idea she's on site, but they're guard patrols have changed, and certain areas are locked down. And that includes the one Ludmilla's in.
So what's the plan now?
The mission's sunk. We go in there, get her out, and wait for things to quiet down. But to get her off site, the locked-off areas need to be manually unlocked. And Ludmilla's stuck on the wrong side.
Shit.
Fortunately, she has already secured a terminal. She'll guide you to her location over the radio. Go now. Bring her back. There's no time to waste. My sister needs you.
I still think we should have stormed the place from the get-go.
I'm on my
Just
way.
Remember, stay out of sight. I'll open any door I have access to through their network. I've opened all the external ducts.
we should have just torn through their ranks from the get-go. I'm not much for this infiltrating nonsense, especially on a werewolf game. That's just me. And here we go. Lupus form. I like they kept this because it's part of the source material and it's cool.
I'm locked in the turbine room in the center of the site. You'll have to get here without
Great.
being seen. The area you're passing through should be deserted right now, though.
This not being seen business. It's not my business.
Door's locked. Ava?
There's gotta be a terminal close by. Find it. Oh, and deactivate any cameras you see while you're at it.
Nice. So like Witcher senses. Makes sense that a werewolf would have that. Standard interaction, disabling security systems. The game controls are very competent.
Guards. Ludmilla, we got a lot of company.
The arrival of the Endron exec has changed their setup. Tell me where you are.
There's no real surprises in the control scheme. It's fairly standard. And so are the interactions.
I'm looking at the southern part of the outer fence. And a shit ton of guards. There's no way I'll be able to make a move without being seen.
Southern part of the outer fence. Got it. There. That should distract them for a few minutes. But if a guard does see you...
He won't live long enough to raise the alarm. They sold their souls to Endron. They don't get any mercy.
Hell of a time for a malfunction. I'll go check it out.
I think I really like this game because I am a fan of Werewolf the Apocalypse and White Wolf games. Gameplay-wise, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just cool that you get to be a werewolf.
Any idea what could have caused it?
I don't care. I just want it fixed and fast. Some big shot just arrived on site. Folks upstairs want everything to be perfect.
And you take down the corpse and, well, some clipping going on over there. I mean, it happens, I suppose. It's not the first game I've seen it in. Won't be the last. Alright. I can't aim. Too sensitive. Also, I didn't have to click anything to get into stealth mode. It just puts you in stealth mode. I wonder if further down the line And I say that because I haven't played this game a lot.
Perfect. I'm not far now. Nearly at the passageway leading into it.
I'm hoping that further down the line, it gets more action-oriented. So I get to rip and tear as a werewolf in Krynos form.
Shit! Something's
Oh
following me.
no.
What is it?
I think it's a black spiral dancer. He's...
Ludmilla, just hold on. Fuck. Rodko.
I heard. No more sneaking around. We fight. Now go. I'll meet you with Rafik.
I'm done fucking around.
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Oh, that feels really good. It does feel like you're this giant machine of destruction just tearing into these guys. Alright, there's a dodge. Probably silver bullets over there. Ow. Ow. I'm getting some aggravated wounds over here.
Call? I've hacked into their system. Now, stay low. I can see they've got snipers in the next room.
The execution is too easy to perform, but it also makes sense because it's the lowest tier of enemy, looks like. So it would make sense that a giant monster like this would be able to just grab someone and just end them. Oh, that's cool. And that's really cool. The heavy stance is good against armored and shielded targets, while the agile stance is better for smaller targets, or squishier targets, I should say. Oh man, that's terrifying. Just to see a lumbering figure like that just walking towards you. I need to heal before I die. I'd like to see a remake of Hunter the Reckoning or a new game altogether. Oof. Ouch. Aggravated damage now. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Don't kill me. Right, you started it. It is really cool to fight as a werewolf. It's not perfect by any means, but it is really cool. I wonder if you get more special attacks as you progress. Ow! Okay. That didn't work out. I've taken some aggravated wounds that I can't regenerate. There we go.
Ludmilla.
Call. Tell 80.
It was heavily foreshadowed in the beginning.
No, please, no.
I hated this the first time I saw it. I like the main character, however. A man after my own heart. Let's go. This guy hits hard. Combat feels a bit stiff in this part. Like, the animations are great, but I don't know, the control doesn't feel as smooth as I would like it. But it works. I will say that. I think what's missing is I'm fighting an opponent my own size, so the impacts are not as brutal as when you're fighting the humans. And that's understandable. So what is he doing? Well, let's just put this monster down. You made a terrible mistake, buddy. And I'm gonna have your pelt for it. I'm gonna turn it into a rug. Oh yeah. Oof. Yep. That's what happens when you cross the line.
Cahal! No. Ludmilla. It's me, Cahal. Listen to me. Cahal, damn it! No. You need to fight the rage. Cahal, that's Rafik! Stop it! No! What have I done? Rafik! There's no time to mourn. We need to go.
I think the game's gonna have a pretty enjoyable story. When I started playing it originally, I just didn't like the story beat. But I really need to revisit it. As I said before, I'm a fan of the Werewolf, the Apocalypse game.
Not that there's anything to report.
No kidding.
And this game does scratch that itch.
Yeah, an Endrin rep, no less. She should be here soon.
You know they're hiring, right? Think you'd ever make the move to Endrin? Hey, what the?
I don't know that I could recommend this game to everyone who likes action games. It's possible, but I'm not sure. I think you have to have had some contact with the source
clear,
material
We're good to go.
to fully enjoy it. But then again, I don't have the perspective of someone that has never been in contact with the Werewolf and the White Wolf World of Darkness.
5 years ago, I abandoned the woods of Tarkir.
So
I abandoned my cairn. Endrin killed my wife. I gave in to rage. The worm touched my soul.
that damn worm.
I had to leave my daughter. It was the hardest decision I ever made.
So gameplay-wise, you get combat, you get stealth elements, and interactions, probably puzzles.
Endrin is joining the fight against global warming. The energy company today announced that their new biofuel will be hitting the market soon. This revolutionary new formula will be unveiled alongside the opening of their new headquarters in...
This exile was my only choice. I'd become a danger to my pack. I often wonder what's become of them. Of Rodko, of Ava, of 80. This is the closest I've been to Tarkir's Mill in 5 years.
Cahal, we're here. You're up.
I consider it's worth checking out. It's worth a play.
How much time do we have before they notice the guards on the outside have gone quiet?
They report in by radio every hour. That's our deadline for getting our hands on the explosives and getting out of here.
Let's go through the plan again, just to make sure everything's clear.
You've got to swap the delivery label on the crate of explosives intended for Ender. You do that, and they'll load us up with smiles on their faces. All you've got to do is open the gate to their delivery bay for me. I'll create a diversion while you're exchanging the labels.
Got it. We'll have to play it tight, though. One hiccup and the plan falls through.
We'll have you sneak around back by their storage facility. Security should be pretty thin there, especially if you go through the ventilation ducts.
What do your clients intend to do with them anyway?
Weatherstormers? They're planning on blowing up a big Magadon pharmaceutical plant.
Good fucking riddance. I know Magadon's methods. They're the scum of the earth.
And guess what? These explosives were originally headed to Endron, another megacorp of assholes. Stealing from them is just icing on the cake.
All right. I'm off.
Hey, before you go, are you sure you're up for this, man? You seem kind of stressed out back in the truck.
Just been a long time since I've been out this way. Brings back memories. Forget it. We've got a job to do.
Right. If you need me, I'm just a chirp away. Good luck, brother.
Here we are. You gotta stealth in, change those labels, and get those explosives. But this is also a good spot to stop. I don't think there's anything else I can add other than, again, I think it's worth checking it out. And that I wish they made another Hunter the Reckoning game. But I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. All that said, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.